The devastation is real. Imagine 230 homes in a single neighborhood suddenly hitting the market, insurance premiums jumping 14% in just 1 year, property values dropping by 25% in 2 years. These numbers paint a bleak picture of Florida's housing market. This isn't just about hurricanes anymore. Florida's crisis is a mix of natural disasters and financial strains, making it a high-risk bet for homeowners and investors. You can see the signs everywhere, in news reports, real estate listings, and the for sale signs flooding coastal neighborhoods. Today, we're digging into why Florida is becoming less livable by the day and what it could mean for your real estate plans. But we're about to dive into some real eye-openers. We'll unpack the hard data on skyrocketing insurance premiums and plummeting property values. Plus, we'll look at what all this means for Florida's real estate future. Stick with me, this could save you from making a costly mistake on your next property move. Nature's fury, destruction on the rise. Let's get to those shocking insights. In some Florida neighborhoods, a difference of just 5 feet in elevation could mean the difference between safety and disaster. This was brutally clear after Hurricane Helene and Hurricane Milton tore through St. Petersburg. Water levels surged 5 to 6 feet, swallowing homes that stood just above sea level. Families woke up to their lives submerged, literally. And this isn't a one-off. Florida's hurricanes are becoming more frequent and more intense, reshaping the state's landscape. You might be thinking, I'll just buy a home on higher ground, right? Not so fast. Even small differences in elevation can dramatically alter the impact of a storm. A house just a few feet higher than its neighbor might escape with minor flooding, while the other is destroyed. For anyone considering buying in Florida, location is no longer just about the view, it's about survival. Consider Shore Acres, already dealing with flooding issues before Helene and Milton hit. The previous year, Hurricane Idalia left half of the homes there underwater, driving desperate homeowners to sell. And then came Helene, with a storm surge that was the worst the area had seen in 80 years. Homes just 4 to 5 feet above sea level were swept away. Now, picture this. You buy a home in Florida for $650,000 in 2023. A storm hits, and within months, you're forced to sell that same home for $550,000, a $100,000 loss. This isn't a nightmare scenario. It's the real-life story of a Shore Acres homeowner. And it's not just the residents feeling the sting, the entire market is reeling. Home values in areas like Cape Coral and Fort Myers have dropped 15 to 25% in the past 2 years. For current homeowners or potential investors, understanding elevations and flood zones is no longer optional. These factors are directly impacting property values in ways we've never seen before. Think understanding flood zones is enough to protect your investment in Florida? Think again. There's a silent killer lurking in the Sunshine State's real estate market, and it's turning dream homes into financial nightmares. The culprit? It's not just water. It's a perfect storm of skyrocketing costs and plummeting values that's leaving homeowners gasping for air. Please take 2 seconds to help me out and hit the like and subscribe if you find this video interesting so far. Each like and subscribe helps support this channel and keeps us motivated to keep making you great content. Thank you. Now, back to what I was saying. The financial tsunami, skyrocketing costs, and plummeting values. Let's talk numbers. Over the past 4 years, the cost of living in Florida has shot up like a rocket. We're seeing rent, insurance, and property taxes reach levels that many residents simply can't keep up with. It's not just a slight increase, we're talking about a dramatic surge that's putting a serious strain on people's wallets. Now, you might be thinking, but isn't this happening everywhere? Well, yes and no. While it's true that housing prices have been on the rise nationwide, the situation in Florida is particularly dire. Let me put this into perspective for you. Over the last 5 years, national home prices have increased by about 40%. That's a significant jump, right? But here's where it gets interesting. In New Orleans, another area prone to hurricanes, home prices only went up by 5% in the same period. Why is this important? Because it shows us that markets heavily affected by natural disasters aren't following the same trends as the rest of the country. They're stagnating, and in some cases, they're actually losing value. This is a red flag for anyone considering investing in Florida real estate. But it gets worse. Let's zoom in on a real-life example that'll make your jaw drop. Picture this. You're a homeowner in St. Petersburg, Florida. You bought your dream home, thinking you made a solid investment. Then, disaster strikes. Recent flooding hits your area hard, and suddenly, you're facing a $100,000 loss on your property. That's not a typo, folks. We're talking about a six-figure loss in a matter of months. It's not just a hypothetical scenario, it's the harsh reality for many Florida homeowners right now. And it's not just about the immediate damage from floods or hurricanes, it's about the long-term impact on property values and the ability to recover financially. Now let's talk about the elephant in the room, insurance. Citizens Insurance, the state-run insurer of last resort, has hiked up its rates by 14% in just 1 year. That's a massive increase that's hitting homeowners hard. But here's the kicker. Many people are choosing to go without insurance altogether because they simply can't afford it anymore. Think about that for a second. People are leaving their most valuable asset unprotected because the cost of insurance has become prohibitive. This is a ticking time bomb for the Florida housing market. Without insurance, homeowners are one natural disaster away from financial ruin. So what does this all mean for the future of Florida's housing market? Well, to put it bluntly, its long-term viability is in serious question. The combination of rising insurance rates, increased cost of living, and the constant threat of natural disasters is creating a perfect storm that's making Florida increasingly unlivable for many. Staying afloat, strategies for homeowners and investors. It all comes down to elevation. That's right, in Florida's volatile real estate market, even a few feet can make a world of difference. Investors who are focusing on higher elevation properties are mitigating their risks against flooding and hurricanes. These properties are less likely to sustain damage during severe weather, making them a safer bet in the long run. But let's be real. This strategy isn't a magic bullet. The challenges in Florida's housing market are significant, and they're not going away anytime soon. We're seeing a market where many homeowners are opting to go bare without insurance due to sky-high costs. This is a risky move that could spell disaster for the housing market if left unchecked. And it's not just individual homeowners feeling the heat. Citizens Insurance, the state-run insurer of last resort, is walking a financial tightrope. Their rates are significantly lower than market rates, which sounds great for homeowners, but it's a disaster waiting to happen. If they have to pay out a large number of claims, we could be looking at insolvency. So what's the solution? Well, it's not simple, but there are possibilities. The Florida government may need to step in to attract private insurers and create a more sustainable insurance market. This could involve offering incentives or implementing new regulations to make the market more appealing to insurers. Another potential solution? It might sound counterintuitive, but some experts are suggesting that home prices need to drop significantly to improve affordability and stabilize the market. We're talking about a potential long-term solution that could involve adjusting home prices downwards by as much as 50%, similar to the housing crash in 2007. This could lead to lower insurance rates and property taxes, making home ownership more viable for many Floridians. Now, I know what you're thinking. A 50% drop in home prices? That's insane. And you're right, it is a drastic measure. But in a market facing increasing inventory levels and declining home values, drastic measures might be necessary to right the ship. For those of you considering buying in Florida or for current homeowners, this information is crucial. It's time to reassess your strategies. If you're buying, focus on properties at higher elevations. Do your homework on flood zones and insurance costs. And most importantly, be prepared for the possibility of declining property values in the short to medium term. For investors, this market volatility could actually present some interesting opportunities. If you have the stomach for risk and a long-term outlook, properties in Florida could potentially offer good value, especially if you focus on those higher elevation areas we talked about. But here's the bottom line, people. Florida's real estate market is in a state of flux. The combination of natural disaster risks, insurance woes, and market instability means that anyone involved in Florida real estate needs to be more vigilant than ever. It's not just about finding a nice house anymore. It's about understanding complex market dynamics and environmental risks. The forecast: Florida's uncertain future. Florida's housing market is on a perilous path. We've seen devastating hurricanes, skyrocketing insurance rates, and plummeting property values. The numbers don't lie. A homeowner in Shore Acres lost $100,000 on their property in mere months due to flooding. That's not just bad luck, it's a sign of a market in crisis. So, is Florida still a viable option for home buyers and investors? Or is it time to reconsider? The future looks uncertain, with more private insurance carriers potentially dropping out and further increases in insurance rates. It's clear that anyone considering Florida real estate needs to approach it with extreme caution. Stay informed, do your research, understand the risks, and think long and hard before making any real estate moves in the Sunshine State. The Florida dream might be turning into a financial nightmare for many. What's your take on this? Have you experienced these issues firsthand? Thanks for watching, and please make sure you subscribe if you enjoyed the video, and watch this one as well.